Welcome to Catching Up with Nina, our podcast series where we discuss issues relative and pertinent to Michigan principals. This is Nina Davis, your Associate Director of Member Services and Engagement at Michigan Association of Secondary School Principals. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's chat. Welcome back to another episode of podcast. This is Nina Davis, your Associate Director at MASSP, and I am here today with another clerical interview. I have the opportunity to interview Miss Trayc Cunningham, who is at Beecher School. So I'm going to give her an opportunity to introduce herself. So welcome, Trayc, today.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Trayc Cunningham, and I am currently the administrative assistant to the building principal and the athletic director at Beecher High School. We have children grades 7 through 12.
Okay, wonderful. So it sounds like you have a pretty busy job there with kind of two roles in one.
Yes, never a dull moment.
So how long have you been in this position, or how long have you been with Beecher Schools?
I have been with Beecher Schools since 1994. I started as a parent volunteer when my son entered preschool. The following year, his second year of preschool, I became a sub caregiver in the early childhood program. I did that for a month and a half, and I became a permanent caregiver in a classroom. The following year, I became a teacher for Early Head Start. I did that up until 2013. I became a computer teacher for the elementary building. 2015, I became secretary at the elementary building. And 2017, I came to the high school.
So Trayc, the question I should have asked is, what have you not done in Beecher? Because you've done.
I have not. I always make the joke. I always make the joke that I'm the assistant superintendent, but I haven't been the superintendent because I've cleaned up. So I've been a custodian, I've been a mother, I've been a nurse.
You've done it all.
I've done it all. And that's just doing the first part of the day.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, that's extraordinary. So can you just talk about a little in terms of the position you're in now? What type of duties do you perform?
Well, there's a lot of phone calls, a lot of parents call, a lot of businesses call. I do all the ordering for the teachers, for the building. I create, what do I do? I do a lot. There is a lot. I never thought about having to describe my day to somebody. Making sure students are on the bus. I am making sure subs are signing in every day. I'm making sure we have coverage of classroom when teachers are out. Coming back after COVID, we have a lot of people that, weren't comfortable coming back at first. So I had to find some subs. We had a few teachers to leave. So I've got some long-term subs I've had to get in place. Pretty much wherever and whatever I'm needed to do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right now I'm planning graduation. So.
Okay. Well, and I having just left a building myself would always remind people that it's really the clerical that run the building. I just showed up. But you all are the ones that really have, the pulse of the building and know what's going on at all times. So definitely, that's why it's always an honor to do these interviews, because I want to make sure that people get a chance to know the jobs that you do, and just, as an appreciation, and, honor you from time to time, because you do so much work. And I think a lot of time that goes overlooked, but it's work that keeps the building running on a day-to-day.
Yes. Well, I have an awesome administrator who tells me frequently he appreciates me, and he always says thank you. And I appreciate that part.
Absolutely.
Some people don't hear that from their administrators. So.
Right. Well, that's really important. So I'm glad that you do get that.
So
let's talk a little bit about the last couple of years. Have your duties changed in the recent years? And maybe they're getting back to what they used to be. But was there a difference in your duties during COVID-19? And just how so has the job morphed or changed?
So During the first year of COVID, we were virtual. The district provided us with a cell phone, which means I got all the calls. I got calls for all the departments, basically. What was different was I had students that were, or parents coming to my patio door to sign enrollment forms. You can't come in, but here's what I had to do because I had to get paperwork signed. I had students come into my patio for job permits to be signed. Basically trying to work from home for me was emotional because I missed seeing the students and I worried about some of them. One of my students that I was really close to lost her mom during that time, and just not being able to get to her was hard for me. And I was ready to come back. So coming back from this pandemic, I'm now an expert COVID test.
I bet.
I have to give COVID tests to students. I have to notify close contacts if someone has had COVID around them. That was emotional for me at first, but now I'm like, if a child comes in here and says, I don't feel good, I'm like, oh, you need a COVID test. It's just what I do now. It's part of my, it's part of my day now. Making sure if staff say they're out not feeling good, I've got to do paperwork in a different way for them as well. So it's just that's been the added duty for me. And I even, spoke with the superintendent and said, hey, I'll come in at 6 versus 7 so that students that need to be tested can be tested early so that we don't have to worry about infecting others in the building because they'll come before school starts. Right. It was what I wanted to do to keep us safe. So
absolutely. So let's talk about, obviously you do this job because you enjoy it. So
I love it.
Let's talk about some of those things. What are the things that you enjoy most about your position?
It's never a dull moment. And I tell everybody every day, I can't make this stuff up. You would be amazed at the things that happen in this front office with students, the things that parents call and talk about. And I keep saying, is that a school issue? But, there's every day I'm saying I'm quitting, but I can't, and I won't. Some of these kids need me. They need that mother. They need that auntie kind of, sometimes I tell them, I'm not Miss Tracy today. I'm going to be Auntie Tracy, and I'm going to give it to you straight. I have one student in this building that just told the other staff, if anybody keeps it 100, it's Miss Tracy. So that's what I try to do. I just, but I don't know what they're getting at home, so I have to make sure they get it here. So I enjoy that part. If anything, it's the kids. It's the kids for me. I love some of the adults, some of them.
Listen, I know.
It's the kids for me.
Yeah. So I'm going to push you. Is there one challenge that you could discuss with your current role? Something that challenges you?
When how do I say this nicely? My challenge is, I don't want to say stupid people, but sometimes adults act like they don't know the rules and what they're supposed to be doing, and it makes it harder for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be my challenge. We just had a parent to call here a few minutes ago saying the kids were playing leapfrog in the gym. Her son hit his head with another student. While he's on the floor, somebody poured water on him. Teacher wasn't paying attention. That kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Because now, we got to figure out, do we got to change some staff around? There's a sub shortage, so it's hard to get somebody in there that's going to do what we need you to do and keep the kids engaged in a positive way.
Absolutely.
So that's usually a challenge for me. And people don't think so because they're like, well, you're in the front office, you're not in the classroom. But I've got to get somebody in that classroom to make sure those kids are getting what they need. So that's my challenge. Mm-hmm. Just when you don't do what you're supposed to do, we all got to work together.
Okay, so I have 2 questions that I like to ask every person that I interview.
Mm-hmm.
So my first one is, if you had the ear of every person in the world, what one thing would you want them to know about the specific work that you do and or the work of school staff in general?
My job is not easy. And I have said this to several staff before. Just come up and check on me. Come say, hey, do you need a break? Do you need to go to the bathroom? Do you know, I want to walk outside. I don't know, the weather's nice till 4 or 5 o'clock when I get out of here. You know, if you're going to lunch, I can't always leave because it's just me in the front office. Come and say, hey, do you want something back? Do you need a drink? Something like that. Just know that what I do is all day long. From the time I walk in the door, I used to have a picture of Samuel L. Jackson sitting in a chair. He's holding, so I had to take it down because he's got this rifle on side of him. And he said, you know, the moment you walk in the door and a coworker starts asking questions, you know, from the time I walk in the door, actually, from the time I'm in the parking lot, I've got, you know, something going on. I've got a parent waiting. I've got a staff person waiting. So just know that my job is hard, but I do it. And sometimes I need someone to come and say, hey, what can I do to help you?
Absolutely. Because you're constantly checking on others.
Constantly.
Just, you know, for people to check in on you from time to time. Yes. So my last question for you, if you had the power to make one dream in education come true, no matter how massive or small, what would that dream be?
For the best technology equipment possible for every classroom teacher. So that they can do what they need to do, because things are changing and mostly they're changing through technology. And that's probably going to become the way that teachers teach. So I just wish I could put everything they need in these classrooms so that they can have, if it's audio for books, just whatever they need. I just wish I could put it in every classroom.
Exactly. So,
and again, I'm thinking about others, not myself, because, you know, I could use an updated computer too.
Right. Oh, well, it has been an honor, Miss Tracy.
Thank you.
I thank you so much for taking time out of your day so that we can feature, highlight, and just show you your appreciation. Because again,
thank you.
It's very important that we honor our clerical, because again, like I said, I know from being a principal that you all are the heart and soul. You run the buildings. You are it. Yeah. So,
and you know, he always says I'm the boss, and some people get mad, and I'm like, don't say that, but you know, I just tell people I got his back. You know, just like yesterday, I told him, I said, okay, I'm about to take over this prom stuff. I'm about to take it off your plate so I can get it rolling. You know, halfway through the day, I'm like, okay, I'm done with almost all of this. And he was like, thank you. But, you know, just the little things.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you again for the
You're welcome. Nice meeting you.